The series begins with the murder of the White House's chief usher, A.B. Winter. The present-day narrative unfolds during a Senate hearing, where Jasmine Haney, who was the assistant usher at the time, recounts how she first found out about Winter's death. She'd been told there'd been an incident. We also learn that Jasmine was next in line to become chief usher, expecting to take over after Winter's retirement. But earlier that night, she found out Winter had no intention of stepping down. She's then ordered to inform the staff about the incident but to make sure no one goes near the crime scene. Meanwhile, the president's close friend and chief advisor, Harry Hollinger, tries to sweep the case under the rug. He wants it labeled as a suicide, because a critical state dinner with Australian guests is underway. This is when we meet the star of the show, consulting detective Cordelia Cupp. She's widely regarded as one of the best detectives in the world, brilliant, curious, and with a strange soft spot for birdwatching. Yes, even in the middle of a murder investigation, she's got her binoculars ready. We're also introduced to FBI Detective Edwin Park, who, at first, is frustrated by Cupp's methods, and especially by her obsession with birds and constant bird metaphors. Cupp arrives at the scene and immediately starts inspecting it, despite Hollinger's repeated, almost desperate attempts to shut things down. She points out that Winter's death doesn't look like a suicide at all. His wrists are slit, but unnaturally. The blood on his shirt? It's likely not his. And there are cuts on his face. She suspects poisoning. Brushing off Hollinger's constant interruptions, Cupp asks for a tour of the White House. Jasmine shows her around, all the rooms, exits, and entrances, while estimating that over 100 people were present that night. When they reach Winter's office, they find Hollinger already there, rummaging through documents. He claims he's looking for sensitive documents. But in the Senate hearing, someone points out how absurd it is for an usher to even have sensitive political documents. Cupp then finds a bloody tissue in the trash can of Winter's office. Naturally, she wants to interview everyone inside the White House. But officials push back, foreign representatives are still inside. That's when Lily Schumacher, the social secretary, shows up. She tells them the guests already know about the incident, and they're ready to leave. Soon after, the Australian representatives start acting suspicious. One of them demands to leave. And that's when Cupp, looking through her birdwatching binoculars, notices something disturbing. One of them is wearing A.B. Winter's shirt. And that's where episode 1 ends. In episode 2, Detective Cordelia Cupp interviews the Australian state representative, David Rylance, and asks about him wearing Winter's shirt. David admits he got it after getting a bloody nose while having sex with the chef, Marvella, outside the White House. He explains that A.B. Winter was the one who pointed out the bloodstain on his shirt when he ran into him. He helped clean him up, and even swapped shirts with him. We also learn that Marvella had earlier threatened to kill Winter in annoyance, after he refused to include a flambé dish to be served at the state dinner. David further recalls Winter cryptically telling him, "I am going to be dead by the end of the night."